What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. Fresh back from the LA Fit Expo. I still don't have my voice fully back. You guys can still hear it. I always lose my voice at these expos. And if you guys saw my Instagram, which some of you follow my Instagram, you saw a picture of me and Bradley Martyn together. And I promised that, you know, there was an altercation or there was an incident or whatever you want to call it. I forget how I worded it. But I would be making a video to follow up. And Bradley actually knows about this video. Well, let's just get into the whole thing right here. So, Friday night, for the LA Fit Expo, the Iron Wars 3, CT Fletcher's Iron Wars 3. Now, I wasn't really aware who was going to be there, but CT actually popped on my Instagram live about a week before just to say what's up and talk to me a little bit on there and talk to like my followers and stuff. And, you know, I said, yeah, I'm definitely coming out, absolutely. So I said, all right, we're going to definitely see CT. We're told them we're going, right? So Casey Mitchell, the one-legged monster, was doing deadlifts that night. And we're going, you know, we're going to go check it out. So we get up there, and as they're talking and stuff, they said, you know, Bradley Martyn is here. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Bradley Martyn. Here's a guy that I've never met, but extremely critical and was extremely upset with the video he made that was called, I don't even remember what the name of it was, but the fitness industry is fucked up, or people in the, I don't remember what it was called exactly, but I remember it upset me, right? I made the video, I was very critical of him in the video. And at this point, Bradley walks by and I see him, and when he looks up, he looks me in the eye and kind of stops, and I was like, fuck. So I said, Bradley, do you know who I am, right? Now, check this out. Now, why would I do this? Okay, here's a person I had an issue with, or I had an issue with something they said. And I talked about Louis Marco and William Bonayak about their thing, and I wouldn't be a man of my word if I had the opportunity to talk to someone that I was critical of and I was upset with face to face, and I didn't take that opportunity. Now, here we are, Iron Addicts, okay? We're not at an expo where a fight could easily be broken up. We are in the fucking Valley of the Beast, Iron Addicts. If something fucking went down, I can almost guarantee you everybody would fucking back up and just let us fucking go at it, right? So there's no way this shit's gonna be broken up. It's Bradley Martyn and I face to face. And we're pretty close because there's a lot of shit going on. You can't really hear each other talking. So he looks me right in the eye, okay? And now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I have respect for Bradley Martyn. That respect is not given, it's earned, okay? So respect that I didn't have before, I now have. Because we're in the Valley of the Beast, face to face, and Bradley looks me in the eye and he says, yeah, you're the guy who was online who likes to talk shit about me. And he didn't back down, he didn't look away, he looked me straight in the eye. And we're face to face, right? And I just, yep, okay, cool, we're gonna do this. Literally, he didn't know anything about me. I could have been an MMA fighter, I could have had a fucking gun. He still didn't back down. You know, so there's a lot of people out there that talk a lot of shit, but he didn't back down. Now, he's a lot bigger than me, he might have just fucking figured he's bigger than me, whatever, but he didn't back down. So you gotta give him respect for when somebody that he knows is critical of him and has talked shit about him and may want to fuck him up, looked you right in the eye, didn't walk away, didn't fucking back down, just stood there, right? Okay, so fine, give him the respect, right? Explain to him, this is the deal, this is why I'm mad, this is what happened. Literally, we're having this conversation, and by the end of the conversation, I think not only he understood where I was coming from, but he had told me some stuff about what he was thinking, what he felt, other things in the video that I had misinterpreted or didn't hear right, or it didn't come off right to what I was hearing. And literally, when all was said and done, we're standing there laughing, and it was over. Two guys face to face in one spot, neither one wanted to back down, both had very strong stances on how they felt, and by the end of it, because we were face to face talking about it, we both walked away with a different respect for each other, as well as understanding why the other person was upset, which, you know what, you can't ask for more than that, right? All is said and done, we took a picture together, and you know, I walked away from there, and everybody around us kind of like, you know, people that knew the beef were kind of like looking and stuff, and the people that were with me, that, you know, were with Primeval and stuff that went with me, saw me talking to him, and they were like, oh, fuck. I don't know why they thought, you know, maybe I would fucking attack him or whatever, but that's not the way it goes. But I really wanted to not be the type of person who talks and doesn't do, who talks a big game and then doesn't do it, right? So the idea was not to walk up to him and to get into a fight with him. The idea was to explain to him face to face how I felt and why I said that. I honestly didn't even think he knew where I was. Honestly, I thought I'd be like, you know who I am? And he'd be like, I don't know who the fuck you are. But he also explained to me that he's come in contact with many people that have done the same thing that I did, who've been critical of him, or even just bashed him or whatever. And he's seen them at like an expo or at the gym or whatever, and they fucking look at him and he recognizes them, right? And they go, and they fucking like walk away. Like they not cower, but they run away, and they're non-confrontational. And not only, you know, are they non-confrontational, but they're not even willing to stand their ground for what their belief was or why they said what they said, but they just fucking cower. Which I think in the long run, you know, again, Bradley actually thanked me, which I thought was pretty cool. He said, thank you for coming up to me, because a lot of people just fucking ignore it, run away, da-da-da. Which all in all, at the end of the Iron Wars 3, when I left, I actually felt pretty good about the situation. I felt pretty good about the situation, saying like, look, I had an opportunity, I took the opportunity, and at the end of it, there was no fight, there was no punches thrown, there wasn't even any fucking like real like, you know, animosity towards each other, even though I talked shit about him and he said, you talk shit about me. Like, he didn't mince words, he said what he fucking meant. He didn't beat around the bush, he wasn't trying to pussy out whatsoever. So after all that, it was two men standing face to face, talking out and hashing out a problem, coming to a conclusion at the end that you can both agree and both see each other's point and walk away respecting each other. What more could you ask for? You know what I mean? Like, it was a great night. It was amazing to watch these guys clang and bang the fucking weights in the deadlift and the bench. And Phil Collin from Def Leppard was there, which was fucking completely blew my mind. You know, my wife is a huge Def Leppard fan. But bottom line is, you know, I walked away again, and this is not the first time I've done this where I've gone up to someone and explained to them, you know, this is the problem that I have, that's something you said, something you did. I did it with Lane Norton before. I've done it with a couple other people where you just walk up and, you know, I think that most people hide behind the internet. They hide behind the camera. They hide behind their Twitter. They hide behind their Instagram. They hide because they figure that they're never going to see that person. And now with these expos and things like that, you come in contact with these people, you know, which might not have happened 20 years ago, and they're not so tough anymore. They're not so ready to stand their ground, not fight, but stand their ground and have their point taken, have their point noticed, and say, you know, this is why this. They're not so, I don't want to say tough or ballsy, but they're not who they claim to be or who they act like they are on camera. So be aware, guys. You know what? It was something that, you know, I wasn't expecting to happen at Iron Wars, or, you know, I never really expected to run into him at all. And it wasn't something that I thought through fully. Okay, I'll be totally honest with you. I didn't think through how far this thing could actually go until he looked me in the eye and said, you're the dude who talks a lot of shit about me online. Like, it was a very assertive comment. It was very straight to the point. It was like, you know, like, check. Now what? Now what do you have to say to that? Because I'm here, I know who you are, and I don't appreciate what you said about me, so let's go. Let's fucking, you know, like right there. And I was just like, you know, so be aware, guys. I don't think there's anything wrong with what I did. I don't think there's anything wrong with what Bradley said. There was nothing he said that offended me. Even when he said, you talk shit about me, that's a fucking absolutely understandable place for him to come from after watching the video that I made about him. But in the end, it wasn't just worked out. But now when I go to an expo or he's in an expo or whatever, you don't have to think about, well, that dude's a fucking asshole because he said this. That dude's a fucking asshole because he said that. Like, if he ever had a problem with me, I got fucking zero issue with him just walking up to me and say, hey man, here's the deal. I saw your video about this. Why did you do that? This offended me. Wouldn't even fucking bother me at all. And I'm pretty sure, just by the way he reacted and, you know, was at the Iron Wars 3 at Iron Addicts, I really don't think you have an issue with me walking up to him, talking to him about something that bothered me either. That is what causes change in the world. Okay? It's not talking shit. It's not being on the fucking computer trying to be somebody you're not. It's not about being a character online. It's about being a human being and being interactive in person with other human beings and having two different opinions or two different ideas, and they may clash, but when you get together, if you can work them out, that's fine. You move on together in one direction having worked them out. If you can't, you agree to disagree, but it doesn't have to be a disrespectful thing. I think that's probably what I'm most proud of for this whole situation. You know, the older version of me rather than the younger version didn't want to be disrespectful. I didn't want to be the asshole on camera. I didn't want to be the douchebag that says shit and when you see him just fucking punks the person off. I wanted to be the stand-up guy that I try to be all the time. So be aware, guys. I don't think it's bad if you want to go talk to somebody face-to-face about some shit. I do think it's bad if you just walk up and take a fucking swing at them for no reason at all. No place for that in my personal opinion. Don't fucking walk up to them and just punch them in the face because they said that they didn't like your hair or your fucking car or something like that. But if you have an issue with somebody, keep your cool, walk up to them, stand your ground, talk it out, and in the end, you're going to be where you be. BicepTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biceptraining.com, the blog. It's a fucking work it out bicep, and we are out.